Empire Thursday. All right, let's do this. So I'm going to focus on one area here, and we're going to work it, work it, work it, work it. Whoa! All right. A hot day here in Portland. Ugh. Boy, we've had a lot of hot weather. Okay. Let's do this. Boys, plugs up. Plug my. Yeah, let me get some. I need to pay better attention when I order. I got all these Prussian blues now. At least if they're kept sealed, they're fine. But I need to order myself some Midnight Brown. You think I can remember to do that? No! That's sap green. I don't need sap green right now. Grief, how much? Yeah, this guy needs to straighten up his act. The struggles of an artist. God. I'm going to order a tube of this. There we go. That should do for tonight. That's one thing when it's hot out, acrylic tends to dry out really fast. So sparingly use your paint when it's hot out. See, everybody else can see. Oh. See if you can even see that. Try to turn off one of these lights, see if that helps with the glare. Nope. That didn't help that one. Maybe turn off this light. Sometimes the lighting is hard to do, especially on large painting. Let's see. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, that's a lot better. Paint's not even sticking here. There we go. I think there's a little bit of smoke in the air. My eyes are stinging just a little bit. Oh, there goes the car. Motorcycle, I think. Era of Olivia. Olivia Victorianus Maximus. Got to have a important sounding name. That chimney tops. The old part of the city. Around the palace and along the canals. Friends. Ooh. Little bean over here. Hey! Hey, Merrick. No, actually, they probably got some men in black suits that are going to come over and just simply shoot you, and that's going to be it. No, that was a lovely rendition. Actually, seriously, I actually got Over the Rainbow going through my head right now. That was a really beautiful rendition. Yeah. Yeah, isn't that funny? You would think something like that, a famous song like that, you'd be cut off in 2 seconds. But Bach, oh, we're going to get rid of that one here. I don't know. But that's a beautiful arrangement, America. I really enjoyed that. That is a really beautiful. It really is. I know the things that. Well, I don't understand how a lot of other things get away with it. You'll sit there and watch like a YouTube, and wow, well, we got something that we all know about, and boy, they just get away with that all the time. I don't know. That was a seriously beautiful piece. We're gonna start getting the play of the sun and or whatever their version of the sun is. Well, I told you I got muted by YouTube years ago. I had Lauren play Bach off the top of his head, and finally said, "Good God, you got to be kidding me! You're muted me for a piece that was written multiple hundreds of years ago." Gosh, sometimes you just wonder. It's like they designed it so it's only a few can have access to things. Oh, good grief! You look like a rough character there, Merrick. Oh. Meanwhile, on the Max going home from work on Wednesday, I had two. I think they were meth addicts. We're going to Hillsboro to find their new home. You're like, oh my god. Every other word was the F word. And it's just like, oh man, you got kids on here. I'm gonna have to spray this down. I got a fan running right now, and I have to refill that. I see that's enough water for right now. That's one thing you do to keep your paint pliable is that especially when it's warm, you got a breeze going on. It you need to do that. Yeah, it is. It's hot here too. It's supposed to be a lot nicer tomorrow, so hoping that's the case. But we're going right back into the heat next week. So this has got to be one of the hottest summers I can remember here. I mean, we had that ridiculous 116 degrees last year, but we didn't have day after day after day after day of almost 100 degrees. Ugh. Hey! Hello, Mary. This, how are you doing? Oh, it's Vegas. I'm gonna have that song one to my head, Mary. But that was a beautiful rendition you did. I'm gonna tell you that one right now. It was very pleasant. That's where you will find me. Danny Thompson. I actually like. Oh God, I can't. Izzy, I think is Hawaiian uh, person uh, that did. He combined. Oh, it's a wonderful world and uh, somewhere over the rainbow, and it was beautiful. It's a wonderful world. I know Grant said he didn't like that song. I like that song. It was originally by uh, oh God, oh my goodness, and his name just went right out of my head. Um, Louis Armstrong. I knew that come up with me. Yes, a little bit of that. Satchmo, yeah, yeah, he was. Boy, talk about talent. Where he was in Hello Dolly with uh, Barbara Streisand. Well, hello, Dolly. He had that gravelly voice. Now I got that going through my head. Oh, same here. Same here. It's been cloud cover the whole day, but it kept the temperature down a little bit. I went out for my walk at noon, and man, that yeah, I was a sweaty mess by the time I got back. Oh, well, I've been in some incredible humid weather. One of them is New Orleans, as you say, New Orleans, and Where else? God, I had to go through basic training in South Carolina in the middle of summer. And, oh my God. This is bad, but oh, that's another level. That's just like, holy crapolas. Ugh. And then they get the thunderstorms and lightning strikes, and whew, man, I don't think I can handle that. What you're seeing here is the modern skyline of the city in the background, and you have the ancient part of the city here that goes on and wraps around here, and you can see where it's almost like Roman era here, and then it goes into like medieval era, and then more into newer times. Arms. Well, I was stationed in Fort Knox, Kentucky, and it's not Louisville, it's Louisville. Yeah. I think what it is the heat. Yeah. Well, they said a southern accent, and the British actors will back this up. They said the British actors say one of the uh, um, easiest accents for them to do is a southern accent, because they said all it is a British accent slowed way down, and that makes sense. When the British, conquered or colonized or what do you want to call it, what they did, um, that they weren't used to that type of heat, so their language just slowed way down. And just like they say, a Jamaican accent is really a Cockney accent that's just kind of added, a little bit with the tropical flavors to it. I had a class, anthropology class that was fascinating because it studied the language as it went around the world, and it was really interesting. Goldfinger. That's all I know. Shirley Bassey. That will be always her song. Goldfinger. He's a man with the Midas touch. I think it goes something like that. But don't go in. No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die. That's got to be the most famous Bond line of all time. I forget the name of the German actor that played Goldfinger. The Kiss of Death, yes. Goldfinger, he's a man with the Midas touch. We got the Olivia Victoria Maximus era here. We're painting on the throne for a long time, and followed by Alexei. But don't go in. Oh, is that his name? Is that the German actor's name? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die. He was also in the movie is Paris Burning. Um, that was an interesting movie too, because it's based on a true story. He played the general. I believe he played the general that disobeyed Hitler's orders. refused to burn it to the ground. Hitler wanted to have the Air Force bomb it to smithereens, and he said, "No, we're not doing that." But don't go in, Goldfinger. He's a man with the Midas touch. I think he is. I think he's my favorite too. I mean, the fact that line. I think when did Goldfinger come out in 1963, and the fact that we still remember, "No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die." That German accent he had. The man. Oh, I'm gonna have that song going through my head. It's all your fault, Merrick. I want you to know that. Yes. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have that going. But no, seriously, Merrick, that was a beautiful rendition of "Over the Rainbow." It really was. Glad you posted it on Fun AF Creativity. I hope that people don't get offended with that name, but hey, it's supposed to be fun. I think that's the whole thing. When I originally kind of started out, I kind of had a kind of my racy videos and stuff like that. But that was kind of like one of my goals is to bring the snobbishness of art out of there, you know. And you still run into it. Spiders touch. Oh dear. I think that's one reason why I like showing in bars because it's not the stuffy gallery. You know? That probably eliminates me from any gallery from now on, but they don't seem to be all that interested anyway, so I don't care. You have to have a nice fancy resume and all this stuff, and you're like, well, I guess next time if I really want to try to get in your gallery, I'll just lie. I'll list these thousands of art schools that I went to. Just have my friend's phone number. Oh gosh, yes, Mike Trapp was the greatest artist we've ever had. Inga. We go from Olivia Victorianis to Goldfinger. Yeah. But don't go in. Oh, that'll be beautiful. I haven't heard from Dee in a long time. Just adding more and more detail. But don't go in. Well, that's great. Okay, we're going to back the camera up. Whoa. Have the lights turned down a little bit because I was getting a really bad glare. And so we're going to bring this down just a little bit. There we go. Let's see, can you see? Yep, you can. Okay, good. We're over here. My massive painting. But like I said, this is the last of the big canvases, and I think the only time I'll do another huge canvas like this if somebody actually commissions it. Finger. Oh, I'm going to have that going through my head now. I remember when Shirley Bassey came out for the Oscars and performed the famous Goldfinger, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, she looks fantastic," and she did. I mean, it was what was kind of sad about it though is the sound was off, so you didn't get the full great music from her. She still has the voice and a half. Oops. Move this. God is a man. Oh, I'm going to have that going through my head. It's all your fault, Merrick. That's it. I'm going to blame you. Not you, Mavis. That comes later. We'll make these buildings more interesting, too. It's a big city. It is the capital of the empire. It's like Olivia was saying, you know, it may be the capital and maybe a bit uptight, but they said you could find a damn good drink here. She'd have her favorite bartender sometimes come into the palace and they would have a big party. Cold finger. Oh gosh, I'm gonna have that in my head now. It's all your fault, Merrick. I just want you to know. Thank you. She could belt it out, that's for sure. Well, at least not the other songs that I've been constantly singing to myself for the last like 2 years, you know. But yeah, I just love that piece, Merrick. I'm serious. That was a beautiful piece. Okay, we're gonna build us out here. I remember I worked at this warehouse, and we'd go into, well, we'd call it earworms today, but it was called jingle warfare, and we'd see if we could get somebody stuck on certain songs. Oh God, we were terrible. Just building this out here. This whole area was kind of neglected, so I'm trying to hit it. Hopefully, you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm a long ways away from you because the canvas is huge. Like I said, I need a drone. Yeah, what I want this painting is just like the more you see, the more you see, the more you see, the more you see, the more you see. You know, well, especially when you got a 5 foot by 6 foot canvas here. That's what to me, that's what justifies it. It's just like this ridiculously huge painting, you know, and all this massive detail. And the more you look, you'll see people. We're still a ways away from finishing this thing. So, but it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's going to be in there with Count Vespasian. But it's interesting though. Even like Count Vespasian, it has probably at least 100 hours into it, but not as much as people would think. Because remember, every last bit of that was pretty much done live, and so each show is about an hour, and so yeah, and I don't know, but it still has a lot of work into that one. That's for sure. I actually put it, as you know, as I put it aside for a while, and I thought it was complete, but I never really liked where I was at, but with it. And then I decided, with the pandemic got started, I said, let's pull this thing out of the closet and let's see what we can do with it. And glad I did. I think that's my more famous painting right now. It's Count Vespasian. The palace is around 1,000 years old, so that gives you an idea. It could. City on the edge of the Galactic Sea. That's what the Quavians named the ocean this city sits on. It's the Galactic Sea. Bring in these palms. They're an interesting palm because they're like a banana tree mixed palm. You know, talk about banana trees. My banana tree's gone bananas. God, that thing's huge. And I had lost part of it when we had that late um, snowfall, but boy, did it ever snap out of that one. That thing has just gone amazing. So let's go ahead and get that tree in here. I lost my uh, I'm really kind of upset. I lost my rosemary bush. It just died on me. I don't know what killed it, but it just died. It's all browns. I'm gonna have to probably tomorrow is dig it out. It's kind of sad. I was just like, oh man, it had delicious rosemary on it, and it was always lush. And something killed it. I don't know what it is, but something nailed it. And now I'll go out and get another rosemary and put it in a different spot, and hopefully it flourishes. Yeah, I love the taste of rosemary and the smell of it. Oops. It's black in with a Van Dyke brown here. Once as you know, I struggled for the first few months of this painting to get it. But once I got this kind of layout, then it started coming together. Now it's just a matter of adding more and more and more and more detail. This is at the height of her power right here. She had been on the throne for about 10 years. That's when she consolidated everything. And then it ended up being a long reign. She highly sought after. Oh yeah, I hate to say it. I really like that rosemary came with the house, and it was like I was kind of thrilled when it was about the house, and oh, good, we have a rosemary bush, and it just all of a sudden just died this year. Something got to it. I don't know what it was. Getting green out here. See, now you got the over the rainbow going through my mind. White, yellow. It's also known for its very fragrant flower. Highly sought after. Has these almost like banana like leaves, but they flitter in the wind and everything. Yeah, I had to get rid of a rhododendron in the backyard, and it was just looking like heck. It was like, I hate to tell you this, buddy, but we're done. You know. Prussian blue with sap green here. I'm loving my banana tree this year. It got some brown on it, but it seems to be doing fine. Last year, it came close to producing bananas. It actually had these little cone-like things out there, and I said, that's an attempt at bananas. So I thought, wow, that's kind of cool. I figured if we have like a really hot summer, we might actually have bananas. But this year we're having a hot summer, but we're not. But I think it's too short of a because of the cold spring. Oh, aphids, yeah. That's why you like I don't like ladybugs. Yep, I'm gonna have that one too. It's all your fault again. Yeah, I love that. That seriously, Merrick, that's a beautiful piece. Yeah, spray the heck out of them. Love the little creature. I had one rose that was just covered in them. I got more aggressive. I actually used some uh, killer, and it worked. Well, hopefully, when I post a picture of this one, everybody says he did something, or I don't know if he did anything. I did, you know. Hey, Count Vespasian's before you made us before you joined us. Yeah, that was like the ongoing every week. Count Vespasian, Count Vespasian. I think I should do a series on Count Vorlon. I think that would be a good one. I think that castle came out pretty cool. To be honest with you, not to brag about it, but Count Vespasian, but Count Vorlon. Oh, Olivia, she had to go visit him. He's like the keeper of the money. And she mentioned that. She says, I got to go see Count Vorlon. And everybody's like, what? Ugh. Blue, white, more white, just a tad bit of green. Wow, that hour went roaring by. We got our. Let's give this a name. The Borland tree. Gone. Crop it down. Get rid of it. This is going to have lush trees. There's a very lush environment here. Add detail to this beautiful tree here too. We're going to add more detail to the higher palms and stuff that are there. All right. Oh, wow. Boy, that hour went by like there was no tomorrow. So, yeah. Looking at this, looking at it. Whoa, couldn't help myself. Olivia Victorianus. And on that note, thank you for joining me. Cheers. We made some progress here. We've got more structure to this, and of course, a whole bunch more buildings in the background, more structure to this, more detail. It's just coming along. We've got our trees here. We're going to work on those too. Actually, this one has blooms that come out of it. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. It's going to take a while, but cheers. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay healthy, stay safe. And all the people that have kept us safe, thank you so much. Take care. Oh, I should be back on Saturday. Probably get more work on that other space station, but we'll see. We'll see. You know how weekends go. But take care. Seriously, thank you again for joining me. Olivia Victoria Maximus. All right, the capital city. All right, bye-bye. Robust.